Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Fantasy Grounds from the ground up. And in the last episode, we did a combat, and I think we pretty much covered everything that I can think of that a new player would want to know about this. So now we're just going to delve into some of the things maybe a GM might want to know, or things that probably things that GMs would mostly want to know, but maybe it'd be good stuff also for regular players to understand these things too. So the first thing is, so we've gone over the combat tracker and all this fun stuff. In fact, we have all kinds of junk in here. So we're going to go into the party sheet and talk about this. So the party sheet is a very nice tool. Now, if you are a player, hold on just a second, let me clear all this. C-L-E-A-R. So you notice we have two, I just said clear. I didn't do /clear. There we go. So you'll see here we have Leorin and Tazzy. Leorin is a character that I made. She is a warlock, and I actually have her connected right here. And then Tazzy I also have connected using a free one. But what I wanted to point out here is for the users, basically all you have as the player is an inventory tab and the order tab, and I should get this cleaned up from the last time I was doing stuff. However, as the GM, you have a lot more information here, and let's just go ahead and look through these. We'll clear them up as we go. We have the party sheet, the main sheet here, which is the main, obviously. This is where you will have information about your characters. Now, we'll pull up once we get our guys in there and stuff. We'll actually go over more and talk about each of these. We have the inventory tab. This is showing what inventory players have. The reason that was shown is because I had Tazzy in there a minute ago. We have the order tab, and this is, like I was saying, I've said this before, but this is for watch order. So, you know, who's on first watch, who's on second watch, helps you keep track of that. And then there's also this section here, which is for getting an idea of marching and formation. So how are you guys marching? What's the order? Who's in front? Who's in back? Who's in the middle? Who's on what side? And stuff like that. And then finally we have this XP tab, which this is for divvying out XP from quests. The inventory also is for divvying out gold and items from quests. So what we're going to do is we're going to populate this real quick. We're going to put Tazzy in there. As the GM, you can see I have lots of information here at my fingertips. I have their HP. I have their strength dex, all their information here, their modifiers. I can see any defense, the senses they have, defenses, you know, dark vision. Here we can see, does that actually say Mel on it? Did I type that weird? I did actually. There we go. So we can see that dark vision is what they have. I can see their class and their race and their levels and all this fun stuff. So this is good for the DM. However, players, whoops, I can't drag that. I'd have to drag this entire thing. You can see here that players really don't see anything here except for there is now, because we've added players to the thing, it automatically adds them here. Now, one thing to note is a player cannot move onto the other sheet, where if we go, is this the one I want? This is actually the one I want. So if I went to order, in order to give them the rights to move and stuff, I would have to drag their icons from here over. And now, if we go here, boop, is that the right one? Yes. Now they can actually say, okay, this is the front up here. Tazzy's going to go first. Leorin's going to kind of be over here to the back. And this will help the DM know exactly how these guys are going to be, you know, who's most likely to get attacked first and stuff like that. Now, some other things to note here is you do, as players, have rights to irritate your DM by drawing. Now, it's kind of weird the way this thing works, because this actually would start, even though this looks like a paintbrush, at least it does to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it actually starts drawing up in that tip of the brush, not the bottom. So if I draw on this, you'll see that I see it here, I see it here, and then if I pull up my third character here and go to order, you'll also see I see it here. So any player can color. It doesn't let you do different colors. You know, it'll take a second, but it'll update everything. Um, but it lets you draw some simplex stuff. So you could say, okay, there's a bush over here, kind of thing like that. Um, and then you also have this other one, which is an eraser. Now, instead of just erasing a tiny little line like that, what you can do is actually you just draw kind of an outline of where you want. And if you look really close, you can see crossing by Leora in there, there's a little white line. That's showing where it's going to connect when it's done. And everything inside that area will be deleted. So that is kind of the party marching order. I'm going to move all these other windows out of the way now. And we'll talk about some of these DM features that are kind of nice. So here we are back with the DM sheet. We're going to go back to main. So as I said, here we have complete access to all the things. We can click on their little token and it will pull up their character sheet. So we have full access to that. We can also roll for them like a strength. We double click that and you'll see that it says Leorin check strength, right? So I'm rolling for Leorin. So I can do some simplex stuff like that. The other thing you can do is like for passive perception or something. So if I wanted to say, okay, well, they're going to do a wisdom ability check, right? So they're going to do, and then you can even say, okay, what is the DC? So let's say we have an ability check here. We're going to see for stealth. Let's say they all want to stealth. Actually, I guess that would be under, these would be abilities themselves. So like if we wanted to do a wisdom, say check, we could set the DC saying like you need to have at least a 15 to pass. And then if we click on this die right here, it will actually roll for everyone and it will tell us who passed and who failed on the wisdom, on the ability check. Now we also have the saves where we can, and oh, whoops, sorry, we also have this little eyeball here. This means they can see it. If it's unchecked, they can't, or if it's faded, they can't see it. So if we do that same thing on a wisdom, you'll see here it rolled again, but you'll see it's acting like it rolled in the dice tower, which means it is hidden from the players. Now this is really handy. I've told you about how much I like this dice tower and the fact that, you know, that it keeps the results hidden from the players. Well, let's say you have your people walking around and there's some goblins hiding, right? And you want them to do a perception check, but you don't necessarily want them to do it. So we could go in here, click on perception. We can change the DC. Let's say the goblins are, let's make them a 16. They're pretty hidden. Now, this is the only one that gives you the option to either show the characters or not show the characters. So we can actually go here and say, okay, perception check, DC is 16, roll, and you'll see it rolls everyone, and it's in the dice tower automatically, and we can see that Tazzy does not see the goblins. However, Leorin sees the goblins, so they would detect it. So this is really handy for a DM to actually kind of do some of these rolls behind the scenes. Now, I will tell you, when I roll that, they will see ghost dice being rolled. In fact, maybe I could pull this up and you can see. If I go, well, maybe I can't. Actually, let's do this. Let's put that one right here. And then if we move our main one like here, then you will be able to. So you'll see, they see ghost dice. They know something was rolled. However, they do not see what was rolled. That's the wrong one. Now I got to figure out which one's which. All right, so moving on, we also have, you know, our saving throws, right? So let's say they go into a poison cloud and you don't want everyone to roll and know what they rolled and stuff. So you could say here, okay, a DC 10. If you and then of course it would be a constitution. So they walk into a poison cloud. Who can hold their breath? Who doesn't? Anyone under a 10 fails, anyone above. So here you go. It rolls both of them. And if you have more players in here, it will roll for everyone. So here we can see that the Constitution saving throw, 14 by Leorin. And that means that versus a 14 versus the DC 10. So Leorin got a success. And it looks like the saving throw of a 1, oh, critical 1. A 1 for Tazzy, and if we go, wait a minute, why is there no modifications there? That's because her constitution is +0, so we can verify that, and we can see that it is a failure. So the DM could simply go, okay, so you walk into this room, there's a cloud, Tazzy, you start choking Leorin, you sense that something might be up, and you cover your mouth, right? So you can do things like that. And then you can also do the attack. I've never really done much with the attack, but if you want to do a passive attack where you're saying, you know, the armor class of the enemy is, let's say 18, you can go ahead and say do an attack. Now, this will use just a standard attack. It's not actually going, I believe it's just using hand to hand. So you might not really care about this much, but it isn't a party attack is what it's considered here. So here you can see Taz, where's the start? There's the save. So Tasman rolled attack, party attack, a 25 at Leorin. So this is an attack against Leorin. So I didn't mention that, did I? So this is if an enemy is attacking and it's trying to hit the party. So you would, like I said, you probably wouldn't use this as much, but if whatever case you need where everyone needs to roll to see if they hit, you can see here that this party attack, or an attack against the party, it hits Leorin, and it looks like it also hits Tazzy. If we did it again, maybe we'll get a failure in here. We still got two successes. Oh, actually, you know what I bet this is doing is it's adding 18. So I was wrong. This isn't the DC. This is the modifier. So if an enemy is going to attack with just a regular attack, it doesn't matter what it is because they're just attacking, you would actually say, okay, they have a +2 to their thing. So now if they roll, it's going to go against the ACs, the armor class of each of these characters, and then you will get a miss and a hit or something. Hopefully that makes sense. I've never really played with that much, so that was kind of a learning experience for all of us. Then once again, you always, anytime you see these plus minuses, it might be a different icon depending on what theme you're using. That will also give you a quick way of deleting characters from the sheet, or well, this doesn't really add characters to the sheet, but you can also do that exact same thing by right clicking and saying delete item, delete. All right, so anyway, that is the main sheet for your DM. The next one we're looking at is inventory. Now, sometimes when you're doing quests and such in this game or in Fantasy Grounds, you get things called parcels, and these are basically your quest rewards. So for example, let's just pull one of these guys up and just take a look at it. Maybe we'll pull Dragons of Icefire Peak. So this is the starting quest of, no, I don't want that one. I want one that has cool stuff in it, which might take a while to find. There we go, there's something. So here you can see we have from out, which one is this? This one right here? Nope, this one right here. So this is from Out of the Abyss, and this is, what is that, Ilvara's chest, I believe. So as you can see, this is from a quest reward, and with this thing, there is 24 gold pieces, 30 silver pieces, and just a bunch of little random stuff here. So as the DM, all I have to do is take this and drag it up here, and you'll see it populates everything. Now, one nice thing about this is your players can actually see this stuff. And they can say, oh, I would like to claim this. I thought, how do we do this again? Do we right click it? No. Maybe they can't. I thought, I thought they just drag, oh, I bet they drag it here. So what they could do then is if we say, oh, well, Tazzy would like the small bag. So, wait, is this Tazzy? This is purple. Yes, this is Tazzy. So I believe this, if I'm right, let's just check if this works right. I can go to her inventory here, and then I can say, okay, she gets this small bag. You'll see it. It says one. Oh, did I not grab the right thing? I think we have to grab this. There we go. So if we do that, now there we go. That's what I was thinking. So here you can see Partay, Tazzy took a small bag. You'll see now in her inventory, bag small right there, and it has its information for it. And then if we go into the master one, it should say that has been claimed. So if we come here, we can see that right now we have 24 and 30 silver pieces. It's talking about gold pieces right now for the party is 15 and 70. Tazzy has 15, has 70. If we come in here, we can see the small bag, I believe, should be gone. Yes, it is. And you'll also notice that down here, if we find it, this isn't sort. Can we click on that? No. Can we refresh or something? So here you can see, there it is, small bag, Tazzy. You'll see here that both Tazzy and Leorin both have bags, backpacks, and you can see who has what. So the players can actually do that, and I believe also you can assign these. Like you could say Tazzy here, T for ZZ IE maybe. I think that's how that works. So you can actually divvy things out here. We could actually say, you know, Tazzy gets that. I wonder, let me try something. I'm going to go give Tazzy one of these fine clothes and see if it works right. It should subtract to 3, I believe. Yeah, so now it says 3, and it shows you here. And then if Leorin says that they would like some of those clothes, fine clothes, then we go where's the clothes fine? Right there. Drag it down. I don't think I did it right. To, oh, I'm in the wrong tab. Close that. Go to inventory. There we go. And we can go here and drag that. So one thing I'm not 100% sure of is if this assignment, so I know what you can do is you can actually click on this right here, and this will divvy what you have up here. So I think, like if we said Tazzy and Leorin, maybe give these, let's give these ones to Leorin. Sorry, we're kind of learning together at the moment. So there's Leorin, it automatically filled it in. So if I click this down arrow, it should get rid of everything in here. Now, there's another nice feature of this is, let's say there's all these other things that no one really cares about or wants. What you can do with this is you can click this arrow, and anything that doesn't have an assignment in it, I believe, will go over there. So we're going to check this and see if it works, because there's 2 ways it could work. Is one, it does everything. The other is it could actually see if there's an assignment value in there, and if it is, then it doesn't do that one. Not 100% sure. But what you can see here is this 50% is telling you that, for example, with fine clothes here, you can see it's worth 15 gold. That means that the vendor that's going to buy this from you will pay you 50% of its actual value. So where this is 15, it would probably only pay you 7 gold. which is 50% of that. So I'm going to hit this real quick. If I'm right, and what I'm hoping happens is these two stay here and everything else goes away. And you'll see these guys increase. So let's do this. Oh, that worked great. Now you'll notice spell component pouch, it actually does not have a value. So it worked exactly like I was hoping it would, and that I thought it would. But this does not have a sell value. So it actually didn't do anything there. So now once we've done that, we can say we got rid of all the junk we don't want. We could then come here and say, okay, no one wants the spell component pouch. They all have their own. They don't care about that. We can delete that. Then if we click this down arrow, Tazzy should get a fine clothes, and Leorin should also get some traveler's clothes. So if we click on that, now you'll see here that it's saying all the gold's been divvied up. Now there's 209 gold pieces between the party. There's 30 silver pieces. It's divvied it up evenly so that both people get the same amount or the equal amounts. And then over here, we should see, if we click on this, we have close fine. Tazzy now has 3 of those, Leorin has 1, and the Travelers, Leorin has 1. So you can kind of see how that works, where it kind of divvies things up. It's not 100% intuitive, so hopefully what I've said makes sense and you understand. The Order tab, once again, this is who is doing what. You know, if I'm the DM, I could say, you know, right here, this is here, and I could say, okay, well, all right, Tazzy, you're walking down, and I could use this and say, okay, there's a tree right here, or don't it? And there's a big old bush over here, and you're kind of walking through, you know. So I can give them a real quick idea of what's going on. Once again, we can just delete everything once we got it there, like so. Then also for watches at night, you can actually say, okay, who's first watch? So this person, Leorin, would say I'm first watch. Tazzy would say I'm second watch. And this helps the DM keep track of, you know, who's awake during what shift. And as you have more players, it obviously makes more sense. Next, we have the XP. So from the encounter we had, I don't think that one gave us any. Drop completed encounters. So if we look at encounters here, you'll see, let's see if we can find hunting Grix. That sounds interesting. So here you can see this is worth 800 XP. So when they complete this encounter, I can actually just drag the encounter right here, right? And it says 800 XP. Also over here we have quests, right? So if we have a quest that's complete, like let's say you completed capture LAMO in Lost Mines of Found Delver, right? So here you can see you get 400 XP for completing this quest. Oh, this is Irano, sorry. I'm like LA, that looked like an M to me. So here you can see you get 400 XP for that. So if we drag that in here, now you'll see between these two quests, there's 800 and 400, so it's 1200 XP. So once again, if we simply say award this, it will divvy it up between the two. So we should see this one should jump to 700 and this should be 400, I believe. Or actually, no, it'll be 400 each because this is the max. And then it will also say Tazzy can level. So here you can see there's that. So now they both have that. Technically, both of them can level. And you'll notice that this now has the little dot saying it's been awarded. So if I click it again, it shouldn't do anything. However, we have 400 here, which will add 200 to each of these. So we'll get 600 on both of them. And now it's been awarded. So that's kind of how that works. And then if we actually go to their party sheets, we'll actually see right here that Tazzy's now at 600. Next level is 300, so they actually can level up. Also, Leorin was at, and I don't think this one's ever been filled in, because this should have a 300 on it, and you can see they could level up. Oh, actually, no, they couldn't, because they're level 8 already. So theirs is insanely high. I just don't have it in there. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit about the party sheet and the power of the party sheet. And I think that pretty much covers everything with the party sheet. And we can get rid of the quest now that it's been assigned. We can add one manually. We can add our own info here and say what it is and all that fun stuff. All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You learned something. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget about my great big game giveaway. When I hit 1,000 subs, I'm giving away 57 Steam games. That averages out to being 1 out of every 20 subs will get a game. And those odds are really good, if you ask me. And that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.